The acronym ESTEAM stands for Entrepreneurship, Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts, and Mathematics. Melanie Minotti's grade 8 students from Loretto Catholic took on various challenges to put the hub to its full use.
I feel like they don't get enough time within the classroom for collaboration and real-world experience, and the fact that we got to leave the actual school and come into a building might plant some seeds in their head of, I want to own a business, I want to be an entrepreneur, let me see where I can go, and hopefully through their 4 years of high school they keep this place in mind.
The program was launched in 2023. Former elementary school principal turned development consultant Blaine McDougall is now in charge of the program, and he is beyond impressed with the creativity that our young leaders show every time they visit the hub.
We had 1,000 students through last year, and I can tell you with certainty that students loved the opportunity. And as a matter of fact, when you hear students leave saying, oh, when can we come back? Can we come back here after school? That to us is kind of a win-win.
Students were presented with a theme for the day entitled Marine Land Estates. Students become land development consultants, and they break up into small groups and travel to 4 different stations.
One of the activities is they'll go down to the makerspace, and they are to design an ATV, because we said, well, marine land's going to be under construction. You have potential investors that are going to be coming through. So what kind of a vehicle will you be able to design for us? So that's where their engineering skills come in. So they use Connects, which is a plastic material, kind of like Lego. And they have an opportunity for 50 minutes to design a number of ATVs. And they have to pass 3 tests, though, their vehicle. They have to pass a drop zone test. So basically, they literally drop their vehicle from about 2.5 feet up high. It lands on the ground. If it stays together, great. If it falls apart, then they have to go and re-engineer it. Activity number 2 is they're up in the think tank room, and they are to design their marine land community. So they can make it a tourist destination, they can make it a residential destination, recreational, whatever. The last large activity is the groups will be subdivided into 2 groups. One group will be in the podcast studio, one group will be in the green screen room, and then they flip. So in the podcast studio, they are debating what things they feel should be built at Marineland. Meanwhile, the other half of the group is in the green screen room, and it's designed like a morning talk show host. And the host is a student, the guest is a student, with students on camera, students are on the production board, and they are basically talking about the uses and possibilities of Marineland.
The Source caught up with a couple students to get their feedback on how the day was going so far.
It was actually a very fun experience debating with my friends about how Marineland we can make Marineland a better place, like how it could be used for better things. Like, because as they said, they were trying to sell it, and like we had different arguments on how, so one person wanted to make it like a farm to grow crops, and then one person wanted to make it an animal sanctuary to help save the animals.
We brainstormed that we had to use 2 motors to make it look more like an ATV or a car. So now that we have 2 motors on there, we have both sets of wheels so that it would run better and smoother. And then we added more structure on top so that it would stay together during the drop test. And we think that we have a very strong structure so far.
When students come through here, they're going to see individuals that are working on their business, because the Niagara Falls Innovation Hub mainly is used for the launch of small businesses. So when they're greeted at the front door, we remind them, you may see people when we walk through this main area that are on a Teams meeting or Zoom, or they might be talking with a client, but they actually see small business folks doing their thing here.
In Niagara Falls, for The Source, I'm Anthony Luongo.